Going live. Let me fix this fucker. Okay. Bills fans, what's up? What what a weird fucking last few months and a weird game. Thankfully, the end result was the desired result, but wow. I mean, it looked like it was going to be a Madden score of 60 to nothing, and it really could have been sans the two fumbles. You had a lot of sloppy play. They let the Jets hang around a little bit. It got a little bit of annoying, really annoying there. The kicker, he maybe missed one kick, but that first one, that was good. I don't know what the fuck these refs are looking at 99.9% of the time. It was just right there. Uh, but Allen, for all his faults, he had a Josh Allen day. He finally got over that 300-yard hump. Awesome big pass to Dawson Knox at the end. 312 yards, 2 touchdowns, ran it in. I personally would like to see him run a little bit less. He was really getting crazy in the first half with some of those runs. I mean, it's part of what makes him him. There was that one third down conversion where he kind of scooted on the sidelines. It was like a 5 yard run. He had some good throws. He had some bad throws. I mean, missing John Brown in the back of the end zone, my God. But overall, I mean, he had 33 completions to 9 different receivers. And what a weird. Just how do you sum this up? There's no preseason, which I mean, for the most part, are we really upset? Uh, uh, I mean, I'd like to see a couple of preseason games, not four, a couple. And yeah, Joe, Darnold looks like Darnold last year at the finale. What's up, Eric? How you doing? Um, Hold on 1 second. I'm getting some noise from over here. Sorry about that. But Darnold, I mean, if he didn't have that one pass to Crowder, what was his stat line? He was inaccurate. I mean, his first like what? His first like 10, 15 throws, he was sailing shit. They were just terrible. Yeah, man. Joe brings up something. Uh I was the run game overall, Hussein, was just terrible. It looked, again, lack of preseason, lack of practices, lack of camp. It looked, again. It's kind of what I expected it to look like. The receivers look good. The passing game looked good, but a lot of these camps are pretty much passing camps. I'm sure they kept the tackling to a minimum. I'm hoping that Milano and Evans were kept out because, look, we got this game. We anticipate guys are going to get soft tissues. Let's just shut them down. That's my hope. That's my knock on wood hope for this. But yeah, Davis looked good. I mean, Diggs, for their first game, had some nice plays, caught the long pass that got Allen close to 300, then Knox put it over the top. Yeah, it's embarrassing, but it's what we're gonna know is always gonna happen, Joe. They're never gonna change. The guy's always gonna be scrutinized. He's always gonna get stick. It's terrible, but he had a good game comparative to other quarterbacks. He had a really good game compared to some other quarterbacks. I mean, Carson Wentz got sacked like 8 times, threw 2 picks. Again, um, it's gonna be it's gonna be ugly. It's gonna be ugly for a little while. Sorry, everybody's hitting me up. You know, but it's a good win. It's a lot better than last year. A lot better than last year, where it's like, oh my God, Bills needed to go to the wire to get that W. It should have been the game should have been like 38-10, I'd say. 38-10 should have been, in my opinion. We should have had a 38-10 game, but the win is the win. And Allen gets over that 300-yard hurdle. It had been some crazy amount of 40 plus 40 some 49 games. I don't know what it was. It's just the fumbles, like Eric says, man. It's just driving me crazy. I'm like, dude, I love the competitiveness. I saw him talking smack. I think it was with one of the Jets safeties. It might have been May, or it could have been the corner, Blaise and Austin. But it was one of their corners got benched, by the way. I think it was Austin. He got benched for Nate Hairston. But they were wearing them out. And it really got frustrating that the fumbles killed the momentum. They couldn't really run the ball. That was the thing that really they just couldn't get any movement in the run game. And that's where preseason comes in, the padded practices, which I don't know how many they had or didn't have. The media availability at these things is kind of sparse. There's a big portion of the practice they can't see. So I don't know shit. I mean, Desir got benched? It was him? Oh, I thought it was because the TV announcing was all over the place. Because I don't know, did you guys get that they reversed the fumble and then all of a sudden the Bills were on the field offensively? It's like they just said, oh yeah, they reversed the call. It wasn't a fumble. I'm like, how the fuck did Herndon not fumble the ball? He got stripped. And then what was that? Like, I know the announcers, but come on. And that first field goal was good. It was right there. It was right there, right above the upright. It was a good field goal. And then when they finally showed it on the replay, I was like, when they said it was no good first, I was like, you sure that was right there? Yeah, he just needs to get his timing down. But for a first game, how he looked compared to how Darnold looked. Granted, Darnold doesn't play with the receivers Allen plays with. Darnold threw a really bad interception to Matt Milano, a really bad interception. He just threw it up. And there was a couple of times where that kind of play helped him, particularly the one was a conversion to Crowder. He was running, and he just kind of untucked it and threw it to him. I mean, but let's be real. If they tackle Crowder and he doesn't get that breakaway touchdown, what's this? Darnold looks like just a very average quarterback. He strikes no fear in my heart. He looks like he's easy to rattle. He is easy to rattle. He goes through long stretches of games where he just is just kind of there. He's not really making an impact. And Eric brings up a good point. Imagine if a Rex Ryan coach team, Bills team, Jets team, whatever, had to go through this. No practices, barely anything. What is it? Like a 28-day preseason training camp, whatever. Yeah, that was a what the fuck throw. All he had to do, that was annoying, man. And yeah, we're all hoping that injury is not serious. I hope none of those injuries are serious because those two linebackers are so important. I'm waiting. I don't know if anybody have they started talking yet. Is any of the apparently Allen's talking right now. He's on the podium right now, and he's talking. But I didn't get a link from the Bills. I didn't get any notification. But I just saw Tyrod Taylor airmail something over Keenan Allen's head going down the sideline. Oh, the Jets were in a cover too. I couldn't tell from the TV. I mean, when some people are at the game, they can tell the coverages if they know what they're looking at. But they seem to be playing like they had one guy way back. Hyde looked okay. Hyde finished the game. He caught the Hyde caught the kick, the onside kick attempt. He caught it, nailed it down. But I mean, Dobson even got banged up at the end, and he was in there for. I'm just hoping that those two guys were like, one's a stinger, one's just like a little cramp or something, and we're like, we're not taking any chances here. We're probably going to win this game. Let's just hold these guys out. That's my hope of hopes right now. That's what I'm hoping. Yeah, they just couldn't they just couldn't run the ball. It was all game. It was kind of like Singletary. It was like last year. Singletary didn't start touching the ball. He started getting some better runs late. Zach Moss even got a few okay runs late. It's a timing issue, really. The right side is flip-flopped. Darrell Williams started at right tackle. Cody Ford was at guard. he was limping on the sidelines, but he apparently, he was good enough to go back in. I don't think that the way this coaching staff handles injuries, I don't think that he would have continued to play had he been compromised. Um, oh yeah, he hates anybody who's not, whatever he says. Mike Valenti. He's entertaining, but yeah, Epinesa was a surprise and active, but I can't. They know things we don't, man. They must have saw something or just. But it's kind of comforting to know that we have a team in a situation we don't need the first round pick to make an immediate impact, an instant impact. Allen does need to hold on to the damn ball. He needs to run the ball a little less and throw the ball a little more. I mean, I would have loved to have seen 50 attempts today. I think he could have got 400 yards. I was hoping for 400, but to see him finally get over that 300-yard, bugaboo, that was nice. That was nice. I just got the notification, but I don't know what Jet fans think. Jet fans live in La La Land. Jet fans live in another universe. I've spoken. I live down. I mean, you guys know I live in Jersey, and I hear them. I know a couple of realistic Jet fans who know the team is trash. They know Gase is trash. They're not really big on Darnold. But Allen, for everything, for all the limitations in terms of lack of practice, lack of prep time, he looked okay. He looked good. Hopefully, that trajectory goes up. They have a lot of good receivers. They took advantage of those receivers. John Brown even, Beasley had the one drop. Even Gabriel Davis flashed today, which was nice. He had a few big catches on the sidelines, and it was nice to see that he was so involved in the game plan. They must have big plans for him. Yeah, he did a lot of checkdowns today. It was a lot more checkdowns. It was a lot of underneath stuff. He had one beautiful pass to John Brown. It was a beautiful pass. He caught him in stride. It was like a 20-plus yard pass. It was his longest pass of the day. And yeah, we left 2 touchdowns on the board. Easy. I would say all in all, the game should have been realistic score 38-10. I'm not going to take away the touchdown. They earned that, but the game should have been 38-10. And I thought the Bills recovered the fumble when that kid flipped upside down. It got, brought the ball out, got flipped over, but I think he was down and the ball popped out. But it just the one thing that they lacked today that really kept them from really going was the running game. They just didn't get a lot of movement. It looked like Moss and Singletary were having a hard time getting their traction. And it looked like a fumble to me. I mean, I was beside myself when the TV and some of the Bills media was saying that the fumble on Herndon was reversed. I'm like, what? How is that not a fumble? How is that not a fucking fumble? Like week 1 already starting their shit in the league office with reversing of calls. Yeah, he hit one nice deep one to Diggs. It was a nice play. The one Diggs got hit and he kind of got slow getting up. That one that Dawson Knox had to fight for on the same sideline where it put Allen over 300 was a nice play too. I really enjoyed watching that because I knew he was something in my heart said he's going to catch this ball. He's catching this ball. He's bringing this down, and it was nice to see. Yeah, the Bass field goal was definitely good. Definitely good. The first one. So I mean, if he sees that on the TV, he sees that on, I'm sure Heath Farwell will bring him in, show him that, be like, look, you hit that field goal, relax. It went against your record. And I think that's why the Bills offense didn't stay on the field late in the game, to be honest with you. They wanted that kid to get confidence. Even though the field goal was like a chip shot, old extra point, he just, he put it in. He looks like he has a more, he has a really strong leg. But it was nice to see them get a little pass happy. It was, Joe, because, we know what this team has been, and we need to see them enter the new, era of football, trying to put up 300-plus yards of passing offense, throwing 2, 3, 4 touchdowns a game. That's what we want to see. Allen should have definitely had 3 touchdown passes. He had John Brown so wide open. And I think next week when they go to Miami, it's going to be, I think you'll see some of the same type of play in terms of, you'll see miscues, you'll see weird penalties because it's so hard, especially Miami. They have a lot of moving parts. I mean, if Fitz comes out and has a Fitz like day where he has a few hot plays and he does something dumb, he hasn't played a lot. It might, they might throw Tua in. I'm not sure. Um, it was again. I think that it was like last year, but without the other two turnovers, and one that didn't turn into a touchdown, where it was right, with the Mosley scoop and score. I think that was kind of the thing that they evened out the turnovers. Bills got a field goal off their turnover. I think they got a field goal off theirs. They did score a touchdown on the missed field goal by Bass, the first one. That was annoying. So I hope I was hoping for 400. I was hoping for 400. Yeah, they have to. I mean, I still want to be able to run the ball and I thought I was kind of shocked Motor didn't get involved too much. Only into the second half he started to show some bounce, show some wiggle. Moss almost had a touchdown at the end of the game. He got damn close. I was hoping that they would give him a shot, but it wasn't to be. Hopefully next week they get a little bit more traction. Hopefully they get a little bit more, a little bit more legs under them. But it was good to see. It was good to see. So hopefully this is just a continuation of what happened last year, especially that they go down to Miami, they win big, and they just just get to 2-0. I was really upset. What's up, Los? How you doing, man? Crazy year, crazy, but we're all still here, right? I'm not gonna stop living life. That's another topic, but I just was hoping that this is just a continuation of last year. They go down to Miami, they clean them out, and then get to 2-0. Because if you get to 2-0, I think there's some crazy stat. Like if you're 2-0, you get it's well over. It's almost like if you're 2-0, it's almost like a 70% chance you make the playoffs or some shit like that. It's some stat. It's one of those stats. It's like 2-0, you have like a 70% chance to get to the playoffs. Unlike Bills teams of 08 and 2011, of course, but Bills fixed that last year when they got to 2-0 and they finally got to the playoffs. It's going to be it'll be a tough game, division opponent. They're 0-1. They just lost to the Patriots. I was hoping that they could beat the Patriots actually, because I just want to see the Patriots lose as much as possible. Yeah, the fake crowd noise is just I get it, but I don't like it. Because Miami has no crowd. Like you go to Miami and they can amp in 70 decibels. It's like, why? And that was the most hilarious Jet moment of the game is when they get the kickoff, they come out in an empty stadium and have a delay of game. That was the funniest part. How do you have a delay of game in an empty stadium? With, let's say the Bills crowd gets fucking loud. I can hear the difference between a Bills crowd on TV as opposed to an Atlanta crowd, a Colts crowd. And talk about some weird fucking games today. Man, the Colts went and shit the bed against the Jaguars. The Washington Redskins coming back down 17 against Philly. Man, that's something. That was something. But I was just glad to see the Bills maintain their lead. I was getting, obviously, like you guys, getting a little nervous, of course, but they held it. They got their counter punch. Once Bass was able to chip that in, I was like, okay, they got this game. It's gonna be, they're up 3 scores. 5 and change left. This game is iced. So we'll good to see you, K Beats. I remember everybody up in here. It's just been a while. I'm like, what was I going to talk about in terms of there's no preseason, you can't see much practice. The exposure to the team is pretty much minimal. I see the guys off and on without the masks. I kind of don't get the whole facade of like it's almost like a symbolism thing. You wear the mask. I mean, like we know these guys talk without it. We know they're in the building unmonitored without the masks. I mean, like why do they have to pretend like it's something? I won't go on about that. It was just like stop with that shit already. I mean, Andy Reid with the Jedi visor was the tip of the iceberg for me. I was just like I was dying because I was like, it was weird. I don't know if you guys were like, what the fuck's going on with Andy Reid? I was like, and then I saw him and it's just like he has a fucking visor on. It looked like a one of those welding shields you wear. That was hilarious. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Refs wear the mask, then they take it off to make the call, then throw the mask. I'm like, why are you wearing the mask? All of you guys have been tested 1,000 fucking times. Like they take your temperature, they test you, this and that. Like why? It doesn't make sense. It really it's just symbolism to me right now. It's almost like a symbolism thing. It is for TV. I just really annoying. Watching Tom Brady's first game, like a lot of you are right now, in a Tampa uniform is very, very odd. Very odd. I just thought that was Byron Leftwich, but it's obviously a defensive player for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's actually, I think, their quarterback coach right now or something like that. But yeah, it's really strange. Breeze just hit a nice pass to Jared Cook, and they're winning right now 7-0. Bree's arm is definitely not what it was. I mean, I've seen even a few passes here. He's just that pass even had a little bit of it was tipped. That was really annoying, man. I'm sorry to digress. Allen should have had 3 touchdown passes today. John Brown was wide open. It was right there to be had. And it was just really, really annoying that he didn't get that because all he had to do was just put it right in there. I hope next week he comes out and it's just a continuation in terms of, being in rhythm, getting receivers, the ball, being able to, just put everybody. I mean, to spread it out to 9 different receivers, that was pretty damn good. That's pretty damn good. He hit all the wide receivers. Hit the tight. He hit Knox. He hit 2 running backs. So I mean, I don't know what more he could have done. I have to find the 9th receiver because he hit the five receivers. He hit the 2 running backs, and he hit the 1 tight end. So I have to try to find the 9th completion in there. But I saw that it was 9 different receivers. At least that's the stat Kim Jones put out. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm just trying. Apparently, McDermott is talking right now. I'm just trying to see what he's saying in terms of what's being reported. If he's got any updates on the injuries or whatever. But I'm not seeing much. They're busy showing like. I was hoping if you guys hear anything on Milano or Edmonds, please put it in the room. Go right ahead. I was going to do a live. Gabe Davis looked really nice. He looks like, what he looks like? The game's not too big for him. The game isn't too big for him. He looks like a guy, once the game slows down for him, he's really going to be, because he's got that aggressiveness. Even with the few passes, like you saw, like that one run and catch where he refused to go down, wanted to get extra yards, fought even for that little bit extra that he had. That's nice to see. And he's a size guy too, 6'2", 215 plus. He looked good, for the limited time he had. It's just, again, I'll go back to it. The running game just looked really, really just out of sorts. And I expected a lot worse, to be honest with you. I thought it was going to be like a 17-6 slot. In my heart of hearts, I thought it was going to be like a 17-6 sloppy win for the Bills. Like where there's turnovers, there's penalties, drop passes. I just go back and Darnold doesn't scare me. He puts no fear into my heart. There's a few Sandlot elements to his game that he has that help. But then he just goes through stretches of games where he's like a malaise. He looks like he's just there. Yeah, he might have saw ghosts again, because I know the one pass, and then the one time he got rushed and then he just took the sack. I believe it was Dobson who sacked him. I'm like, why did he take that sack? He just took it, like, just throw the ball away. He just kind of just let Dobson run into him and knock him down. I was like, why did you do that? And then the other time he threw one pass, he sailed it right over Hogan's head. It was weird seeing Hogan out there. It was like Hogan's played for every AFC East team now. It was just funny to watch, and he just sailed it right over. It was on the left, on the far side of the TV, and he just right over his head. Yeah. So it's you know what I like. Eric brought it up earlier. This is what a good organization looks like. Finally, a well-coached team. A team that I think, and I pretty much know that Sean McDermott probably liked this whole thing. He probably saw it as an adversarial situation where he can galvanize the team around it. Hey, look, our back's against the wall. We're not going to be able to practice. It's like a militarized mentality. We have to hunker down. We have to be stealth. We have to do this behind closed doors. We're not going to have our fans, and we're going to just, do what we do in solidarity and go out there and just put it on display on Sundays. So I could see where like he really liked this, as opposed to like a Rex Ryan who needs the attention, who needs the buzz and the glitz. He needs all that shit to amp himself up, harkening back to a former Bills coach, and it just would have been a shit show. That type of situation under a Bills regime with that type of, it would have been a shit show. Not that it wasn't a shit show, it would have been an even bigger shit show, like what the Jets are pretty much. Los, would Allen? Oh God, yeah. Allen would have been Allen. Allen might be the first quarterback taken. Allen might. It's hard to say. You don't take Jackson first overall. It's really hard to say you don't do that. But given, let's just say, the top four guys, it would have still been, I think it would be Allen, Baker, Darnold, then Rosen. Rosen's on Tampa Bay's practice squad, for Christ's sakes, right now. What's up, Aaron? How you doing, bro? Yeah, it's been a while. Last video I did was after the draft, so it's been 4 months, and yeah, it's again, like it's hard. There's been little things, but it's not the same, especially without the fans. This is one thing I've learned. I maybe some of us have learned about sports. The game is about us. The game is about us. Really is. Oh, Joe Burrow just ran a touchdown in 23 yards. Wow. Baseball looks dead without fans. Basketball definitely looks trash without fans. It looks like a bunch of guys in a nice YMCA playing basketball. That's what the game is about. It's about fans. It's about energy. It's about momentum. It's about not crowd noise or lack of crowd noise environments, and there's none of that. Yeah, they just it just was terrible, the fake crowd noise. And then it's just weird for me because, like, how do different states have different rules? Like, a virus doesn't respect your state. It doesn't know boundaries. I don't care what they say about hot zones, cold zones. Like Florida, Miami can have 7,000 fans? How many fans can they have? 7,500 fans? And then Bills get no fans. I live in Hudson County, and Hudson County supposedly has the 8th or 9th most deaths of this thing in any county, and nothing's changed here except restrictions off and on. That's it. Like, we don't have to wear a mask outside if we don't want to or anything like that. That's not mandatory. So I don't see what the whole thing is. I think they should have had like, you can spread out 30,000 fans, in that stadium comfortably. If you want to maintain whatever safety, you can do it here at MetLife. You can do it in any stadium. There's enough room. I just don't get how different states have different rules with fans and stuff. I think that's real bullshit, and it really it fucks up the environment and the integrity of the game, in my opinion, when you have those type of flip floppy rules. That's why I've never respected this thing, to be honest with you, because the rules the narrative changed so much on it. You know, we went from 14 days or 15 days to just, you know, all of a sudden we're in how many months, half a year. Ridiculous. So, but again, sorry to go off on that tangent. A win is a win is a win. 300 yards passing. Had some rough patches in the game, but they were able to overcome it, settle it down. A few injuries that are concerning. I'm hoping that these injuries aren't too bad. Okay, McDermott said it's too early to tell on the severity of the injuries to Tremaine Edmunds and Milano, and he said he hopes he has more information tomorrow. Doesn't have any updates on Matt Milano. Tremaine Edmunds hopes to update the media tomorrow. Again, I'm hoping these injuries are just precautionary in terms of they just wanted to, you know, just be safe. They didn't want to put those guys back out there. Soft tissues, injuries. Saints just tied the game against Tampa Bay. Yeah, KC had 15,000 fans. Damn it, that's Jesus. See that? I just don't understand that inconsistency in the rules. Like, how do you like it? I just think it's bullshit, and that's all I'll say. Let's see if he hits the extra point. Yeah, I was very happy. Like, I thought Bass today was gonna fuck up on PATs and make field goals, but it was the reverse. He definitely missed that second one. The first one he made. So let's just say, in a real sense, he was 3 for 4. Bills won. Yeah, less than 0.0 like 1.0000 like 3. But he was 3 for 4. In reality, he was 3 for 4. The Bills won 30-17. Cupcake touchdown at the end for the Jets. If the Bills had Matt Milano and Edmunds, I don't think the Jets score a point today. How many cameras are on the field already? And they can't put they first of all, they still have guys running to spot the ball. They have cameras everywhere, but apparently this weird rule, if the ball is parallel with or goes over the goalpost, it's unreviewable. But if the ball goes through the goalpost or lower than the upright, it's reviewable. Who makes these rules? Like, who sits around and thinks this rule? Why not just any field goal that's in question is reviewable as opposed to the height of the ball? That makes no fucking sense. I was like, it was in. It was a hair thin, but it was in. Yeah, but you know how they are. They're not going to make themselves obsolete. If you use more technology, you make them obsolete. They don't need to sit around and make up rules. They don't need to sit. Yeah, soft tissues damager is going to be the theme of the year. That's what I was worried about today. When I saw Milano was on the sideline with the hamstring, I knew he wasn't coming back in the game. I knew he was done for the day, just from a safety standpoint, just from a precautionary standpoint. I knew they weren't going to put him back on the field. Edmunds, the same thing. I knew that precautionary wise, they were not going to I don't know I don't know what the injury severity is. I know what it is, like hamstring. Edmunds is a shoulder. I knew they weren't going back out on the field. Just because of they're two starting linebackers. Hyde did go back out there, but Hyde just kind of went off under his own power, moved around. I knew he would come back out. He's a warrior. Not to say that Edmunds and Milano aren't. I just knew those guys. Plus, they're going down to Miami. It's hot. Hydration. Best to not risk those guys re-injuring, retweaking, anything, especially in a game where you're winning under these crazy circumstances. So hopefully, again, it was just precautionary. There's no practice tomorrow. Just probably treatment and just them getting looked at. Let's pray. I'm gonna try to beg my one Bills guy to let me know about let me know anything that he can about these injuries. Hire competent refs with good judgment. That's impossible. That's never gonna happen, Chris. They make a big deal about putting parameters on the pylons, and they can put them on the posts. Yeah, they can do a lot of things that they don't do. But it's the NFL, man. It's the no fun league. It's the overreact. It's the reactive instead of proactive league. The only time that they'll do something is when it's after the fact and the damage has been done, and that's it. Or they overreact and do that horrible pass interference review rule that they botched and they got rid of because of one moment. And it's just atypical. It's atypical of any big corporation. We're only going to take care of shit when, we've got blood on our hands, essentially. The second tier refs and not happening. Yeah, those were terrible. Oh, Brady just threw a pick. Brady just got intercepted. I don't know if it was a clean pick or it went off somebody's hands. He's pointing at himself. I don't know if you guys saw. Okay, here's the replay. Let's see what happens here. They're circling Mike Evans. Oh, he airmailed it right over Evans' head. Right into is that Bell? Yeah, he just airmailed it right over his head. Every quarterback misses throws. If you go watch the interception Brady just threw, he threw it right to the Saints safety. Right to him. Wow. That was tough. But, hey, I'm not crying. That's Tom Brady. Fuck him. Yeah. Nah, he didn't have his hand tipped. Nothing. Just sailed it right over you. It takes a lot to miss Mike Evans. That's you think this is the tallest wide receiver he's ever thrown to that he would have hit that, or even got a hell of a lot closer than that. Saints are set up. Pitch to Kamara. Oh, down tackle for a 3-yard loss. But guys, I am thanking you so much. I don't want to keep you on here too long. It's an early Sunday. It's a Bills victory. Go enjoy it. Shout out to Eric, who just got married. Congratulations to him and his life partner. That they're going to go on the journey together. That's awesome. All you guys who came back in, Beats, Chris, Hussein, Damager. K Beats, Aaron. Oh shit! There's so many of you guys. There's Shady, who of course, Joe Smith, who always is in here and one of the biggest active commenters. Travsdale, Ronald, all you guys. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Enjoy the rest of the games. I'll come back on during the week now regularly, at least once a week to talk about, especially about these injuries, because those are huge. Going down to Miami in that heat, that weird weather, I don't know if they play next week. I think they might hold them back. We'll see what they do. We'll know pretty soon what those injuries look like early in the week. Hopefully, McDermott comes out with his he'll come out and be coy and say, oh, we're just going to monitor them right now. We don't have anything definitive yet. Hopefully. Let's just, again, knock on wood. All right, guys. Love you. Go Bills, 1-0 to start this weird ass year, and let's enjoy it. We got a good week. We got a good week to go with, so enjoy it. Our week has been set up for good things. Go Bills. Love you guys.